Evening, honorable judges and audience. This is your Prime Minister, and this House believes that religious minority group members should have access to learn their religious education in school. The definition of this motion is that the government wants group of people who choose beliefs with fewer numbers of religious minorities to receive access to formally learn about their beliefs or religion at the school level, which is taught by a teacher who has competence and embraces congruent and non-conflicting beliefs. The context of these motions is Indonesia lacks religions teachers, especially religious minorities. And my argument is religious education in school is important because it can shape students into moral and faithful human beings, and the school is a very strategic place to implement these goals of religious education, namely its full usefulness in society. Therefore, all students have the right to receive religious education, including religious minority group members. The government, which is a stakeholder, understands the importance of this including religious education in the national curriculum, which must be taught from elementary school, high school to university, as a very fundamental part in the formation of human personality. Religious education is a key that cannot be ignored because it is one of the supporting factors in moral education that shapes students to be noble, knowledgeable, creative, independent, and responsible. Education is essentially a process of human maturation to become a complete human being. Whole man includes all dimensions of human life: physical, psychological, mental, or moral, spiritual, and religious. Religious education in school as one of the efforts of human maturity. In the spiritual religious dimension, the existence of religious lessons in schools is an effort to fulfill human nature as religious beings. Religious education in schools can also be continuations of the estafette baton, in which religious education is taught from a young age in the environment of parents and families. Or perhaps, if the students' families have minimal basic religious knowledge, they adhere to the limited ability of the parents themselves. The school can become the focus in introducing religious education to their children. Religious education can also be a reference so that students have input and a wider perspective in studying religion. Schools that make religious studies a mandatory subject can direct students who have low interest to deepen their religious knowledge, because like it or not, you will sit in a classroom to study the religion. Although it has been listed in the national curriculum, in reality, the existence of minority religious teachers is very limited. I have a story from a friend of mine. He once told me about one of his friends in high school who was a Christian. The school is a public school and one of the top schools in my city. It is the right of the student to receive the same treatment, the same right, but in reality, the friend of my friend did not receive what he should receive. He did not get religious guidance according to the beliefs he professed, because there is no appropriate religious teacher in the school. Every time a religious lesson takes place, which refers to the religions of the majority, the religion teachers ask him to leave the classroom and then head to the library. Tell him to study independently. He was only one of about 30 students. He is a minority, and he, sadly, does not receive the same rights. From this story, we can conclude that moral performance is needed to increase the quantity of minority religious teachers so that the importance of religious education in school can be enjoyed by all students without exception, both the majority and the minority. Thank you very much.